So I've added all the courses within the categories, and here you'll see there's 5, 4, 2, 3, 2, 3, 2, and that's an indication of how many courses there are within that particular category. So if you look at 1, there's 5, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we can continue. The second one is 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so now let's go to our home page and just refresh. Let's go to our categories. You'll see it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 categories. And then if we scroll down, you'll see there's our latest ones, and here we can scroll through. Okay, so let's play with the settings of the categories. So let's go to Site Administration, and I'll go to Appearance and then Themes, and then I'll click on the gear icon. I'll go to Blocks, and then we should change the category. So there it's block 9 categories. You'll see that we've enabled it, and it's currently on Design 1. So let's change to Design 2, and I'll save it. I'll go back and refresh here, and now you'll see that it's just showing the course title and then how many courses there are. Let's go with setting 3. It's under categories, and then it's setting Design 3. I'll save this, and then I'll go back and refresh. So now you'll see it's kind of like a scrolling effect. So I think the first one is more design friendly, so I'll go to that and I'll choose the first one. Okay, so now we also have an option to change the background image. So if we click on picture here, we can add a background image, or it will add it for us, and I'll show you where to add that image. Then the block count is on 8, which is the default. And then if you want a box shadow, we can enable that. And then what should the header say? Available categories. Let's leave it on this. And then block 9, list of registered categories. If you just want to say list of categories, that's in order. Okay. And here you can have a category ID. So if we save it now and we go back to our home page, we refresh it. So now you'll see that our images becomes part of our background of our category. So we have to make sure that we select the correct images. Okay, I'll leave this for now. I'll scroll down, and now you'll see there's my courses, and we can change this as well. Okay, if we click on access courses now, you'll see all of them as the plus signs here, and it will show you the particular courses within that category. In this video, I will show you how to make adjustments to the activity default settings. Before we set up a course before we add activities to that particular course, we can specify the default settings of any activity in Moodle. Let's go to Site Administration, and then to Courses, and then you'll see that we've changed the course default settings, but we can also change the activity default settings, the completion settings. So let's click on that, and then you will be presented with a list of activities. Now remember, when we add an activity, you'll see these icons. Okay, so let's go to a course and I'll show you. So if I go to a particular course, so let's say this course here, Audience Analysis, if I turn editing on, and if I want to add an activity, you'll see this pop-up appears, and now you are presented with these activities. So it's currently on all, but you can select either activities, and this is the activities, or you can select the resources. So under activities, you'll see that here are my activities. It's assignment, book, choice, database, external tool, and it corresponds to these activities here that I can add to my course. Okay, just for a little bit of context there. Okay, so the assignment, if you click on the drop down list, you'll see that you can specify the completion settings. Now the completion settings is basically where what do you determine, when do you determine this activity as complete? Okay, so what will determine this activity as complete? So you can click on add requirements, and then when this activity is complete, what should happen? So the users should usually view the activity, but I'll usually leave this unchecked because for them to complete it, they should automatically view this, but you can check it. Then make a submission. Since it's an assignment, they need to make a submission to that assignment, and then they need to receive a grade. So if all of these are checked, this will tell Moodle that this activity is completed on the course. Okay, you can also specify a passing grade. So if you set up, let's say the student needs to obtain 30% in the assignment, you can specify here the passing grade or any grade. Okay, so I'll leave it on any grade and I'll save that. So that becomes the default setting. Now, if I should add an assignment here, okay, so if I click on this assignment, you'll see under completion, these are already set up for me. So I don't have to set it up in the course. Okay, so basically saves me some time. Okay, I can do the same for book. If you are going to use the book, add requirements and they should view the book. Okay, save it. Then for my choice, if I'm going to use the choice activity, add a requirement, they should make a choice, save it. Then for database, add a requirement, they should view the activities, they should add an entry, and you can specify how many entries they should add to the database. If I have a database activity added to my course, and they need to receive a grade, okay, any grade, save. External tool, this is basically where you use resources from the, let's say from the internet and so forth. External tool, and then you can specify. So basically I just view the activity and receive a grade, save. Then for my feedback, I'll specify view the activity and submit feedback. So if I ask for feedback, they need to submit it, and this will indicate that this activity is completed. File, add requirement, view. Then for folder, this I don't use very often, so I'll leave this, but you can make sure that you add a requirement and then they should view it. Okay, if you have folders. Forum activity, yes, add a requirement, they should view the activity, they should start a discussion or post replies, so I usually leave it on 1. They can start a discussion, they can post replies, and they will be able to receive grades for this activity. Save it. And then for my glossary, I'll usually skip this. I'll add a glossary, but there's no requirements. They can only view this activity, so they don't need to add entries. Okay, so I'll add the entries for them. Then for H5P activities, you can add, they need to receive a grade, a passing or not just any grade. And then for IMS content packages, I'll leave that as is, so I don't use that. But you can specify what the settings that you need, the completion settings. Then for lesson, very important, they are required to reach the end of the lesson, and they need to receive a grade. I'll save that. And then for the page, yes, they can only view this. Okay. And then for my quiz, very important, this is for my testing. So they should view the activity, they should receive a grade. Okay, save. And then for my SCORM packages, yes, I use this. Add a requirement, they should view the activity, they should receive a grade, and save. Then for my text headings, nothing should happen here. This is just for changing the UI, and then the URL, I don't use that very often, so I'll leave this as is, but you can specify. Wiki, yes, add a requirement, they can view it. And then for my last one, the workshop, yes, they add requirements, they should view it and receive a grade, and save it. So now all my default settings for my course, for my activity completion are done, and I'm now ready to set up my activities within my courses.